Hi all, this is Fathimathul Shasna Fareen, Tutor cum Optometrist from Department of Optometry at Yenepoya School of Allied Health Sciences. So today I am going to talk on anatomy of cornea. The specific learning objectives of this session would be to explain anatomy of cornea, to describe dimensions of cornea, to explain histology of cornea and functions of layers, then to describe blood supply and nerve supply of cornea, and to describe functions and about transparency of cornea. So we will start with an introduction to anatomy of cornea. We know cornea is transparent, avascular, watch glass like structure. As you can see in this picture, cornea is having a convex shape anterior surface and a concave shape posterior surface, and cornea forms anterior 1/6 of the fibrous coat of the eyeball, which is the outermost layer of the eyeball. The remaining part of fibrous coat is formed by sclera. And the shape of cornea is a prolate flatter at the periphery and it is steeper centrally, which creates an aspheric optical system. So moving to dimensions of cornea, corneal anterior surface is elliptical in shape with average horizontal diameter of 11.7 millimeter and vertical diameter of 11 millimeter, and posterior surface of cornea is circular in shape with average diameter of 11.5 millimeter. And the corneal thickness at the center, cornea is thinner than the periphery. So with a thickness of 0.5 to 52 millimeter at the center and 0.67 millimeter at the periphery. The central part of cornea is a powerful refracting medium. So the radius of curvature of central cornea is 7.8 millimeter anteriorly and posteriorly it is 6.5 millimeter. And we know cornea is an important refractive medium, so it should have refractive power as well as refractive index. So cornea is having a refractive power of plus 43 diopter. From that, plus 48 diopter is of anterior surface and minus 5 diopter is of posterior surface, and the refractive index of cornea is 1.376. So moving to histology of cornea, cornea is having 6 layers from anterior to posterior. They are epithelium, Bowman's membrane, corneal stroma or substantia propria, Duas layer or it is also called predecimus membrane, then decimus membrane, and the innermost layer is endothelium. So we will start with epithelium. Epithelium is made up of stratified squamous non-keratinized type of cells, and it continues with bulbar conjunctiva at the limbus. Limbus is a junction between sclera and cornea. So the anterior part of sclera is covered by bulbar conjunctiva. So at the limbus, bulbar conjunctival epithelium is continuous with the epithelium of cornea. So corneal epithelium consists of 5 to 6 layers. As you can see in this picture, the basal layer or the lower layers are made up of columnar shape of cells, and mid epithelial layers are made up of umbrella shaped cells, and superficial 2 layers are made up of flattened cells. And we will see the functions of epithelium. It acts as a barrier to fluid loss and entrance of pathological organisms, since it is the outermost layer of cornea, and it serves as a major refractive surface of eye and also surface to respond to wound healing, because epithelium is having regenerative capacity, so it acts as a major surface to respond to wound healing. So the next layer, second layer is Bowman's membrane. It consists of acellular mass of condensed collagen fibrils, and it is having 12 micrometer thickness, and it binds corneal stroma anteriorly and with the basement membrane of epithelium. And Bowman's membrane does not regenerate if it is destroyed. The function of Bowman's membrane is it acts as a smooth base for the epithelium because it lies next to epithelium. So the next layer, third layer is corneal stroma. It is the largest layer of cornea and which is having 0.5 millimeter thickness. The corneal stroma consists of collagen fibrils. It is also known as corneal lamellae, which is embedded in a hydrated matrix of proteoglycans. So this corneal lamellae is important in maintaining transparency of cornea, and the lamellae consists of cells such as keratocytes, macrophages, histocytes and lymphocytes. So functions of stroma is the peculiar arrangement of corneal lamellae or the collagen fibrils helps to maintain the transparency of cornea, and it maintains the structural integrity of cornea. So the next layer is Duas layer. It is also called predecimates membrane as it is located anterior to the decimates membrane. It is about 15 micrometer thick and it is a cellular structure. The functions of Duas layer are it contributes to corneal biomechanism and it is used in corneal transplant and lamellar surgery. So the next layer is decimates membrane. It is a strong homogeneous layer which separated from the stroma by Duas layer or predecimates membrane, and it is made up of collagen and glycoproteins like corneal stroma, and it has the ability to regenerate like epithelium does. So the functions of decimates membrane are it resists chemical agents, trauma and pathological processes, and it maintains the integrity of eyeball for long. So the next and innermost layer is endothelium. As you can see in this picture, it consists of single layer of flat polygonal epithelial cells, and the cell density of endothelium is 3000 cells per millimeter square, and which decreases with increasing the age. This decrease in the cell density of endothelium is compensated by the enlargement and migration of neighboring cells of endothelium, and endothelium does not proliferate. We will see the functions of endothelium. It maintains its transparency of cornea. So the corneal transparency is maintained mainly by endothelium, and it contains active pump mechanism which keeps cornea dehydrated. We know cornea should be wet and it should be transparent for the light to enter the eyeball. So moving to blood supply and nerve supply of cornea. Blood supply, we know cornea is an avascular structure, so it gets its nourishment from subconjunctival tissue and which overlaps the cornea. This subconjunctival tissue overlaps the cornea. Then nerve supply, cornea is supplied by long ciliary nerve, which is the division of trigeminal nerve, which is one of the 12 cranial nerves. So moving to physiology of cornea, we will see the functions or major functions of cornea. Cornea act as a major refractive medium. Cornea is one of the refractive medium. Then next function is to protect intraocular contents. We know cornea is the outermost layer of eyeball, so it protects intraocular contents. Next is corneal transparency. To allow light to enter the eye, cornea should be transparent, otherwise light cannot enter the eyeball. So the transparency of cornea is maintained by avascularity of cornea, that is the absence of blood vessels in the cornea. Then peculiar arrangement of corneal lamellae, that is in corneal stroma, which is the third layer of cornea, largest layer of cornea. Then refractive index of corneal lamellae, then relative state of dehydration, and corneal crystallins, which are the water soluble proteins. So we will summarize this session as we were talking about cornea. So cornea is an avascular, transparent, watch glass like structure. Cornea is one of the refractive media of the eye. Cornea is having 6 layers from anterior to posterior. They are epithelium, Bowman's membrane, corneal stroma, Duas layer or predecimates membrane, decimates membrane, and endothelium. Then the layers of cornea helps to maintain the transparency of cornea. Then cornea is supplied by long ciliary nerve. I've referred 7th edition of A.K. Khurana Comprehensive Ophthalmology textbook. So this is all about the session. Thank you all for listening me.